All right, great souls. Welcome, welcome. Always wonderful to be here. And into our niyama number 2 with a short introduction and then bring it into the practice and then bring it into our lives, right? So niyama Santosha, who doesn't love contentment? Contentment. So I think most of us love when we're in contentment and have that as the invitation in yoga is to have that as your baseline, because the opposite of contentment, many opposites, but what's frequent for many people is a restlessness, anxiety, that kind of like vibrational energy like this. And then, how can we be content with life in not getting what we want and times where we get what we want? Many of us know that moving through life fast forward, just not really savoring the moment. So there's aspects of contentment that are very connected to other qualities, like was suggested, savoring and gratitude vibrationally. I think of things vibrationally. Contentment is like when I heard this request of what's the difference, it just feels real belly like to me. That's me in terms of contentment, and gratitude has more of that kind of joy feeling in the heart. This is my experience. So I'm inviting you to be curious about it and to inquire about it. There are qualities in the yoga philosophy around our likes and dislikes. Buddhism would call that attachment, aversion. So of course, the things that we want, the outcomes that we want, the foods that we like, the people that we like, the situations that we like, we prefer those things. We have probably an attachment to those things. In yoga, we're looking at that witness observer that's aware of all of our attachments, and especially our aversions, are the things we don't like, the foods, the people, etc., that we have a much harder time with, and how this may be a difference of gratitude and contentment, how we work with those types of energy, the aversion energy, how we have, all kinds of psychology around that, healthy boundaries, but also like we have moments where we kind of let it be what it is, right? A curiosity about what it is that's creating so much aversion. So when we do that witness observer, that's the antidote. I know this is much easier said than applied, but that's the invitation. And we name it, those psychological principles, the prefrontal cortex likes that, whatever's going on, we like to name it, to tame it. And a deeper part of contentment is just kind of knowing that no matter what's happening, that will be okay, that we can deeply rest. So that feels like a different kind of quality to me for contentment. No matter what, will be okay. Again, gratitude has a slightly different feel to it. To rest this, to allow everything to be what it is. This is a quote from somewhere, rather than how it should be, rather than how we would like it to be. And then if we're honest, yeah, we'd like it to be a certain way. We'd like to catch that plane on time. We'd like to get to where we're going, A to B, without all this drama. But that's not always the case that it happens. And can we be okay with that? Can we be okay? Maybe a little bit different than grateful for that. Maybe it's the same to you. We'll see. The other piece before we get started with the movement is people can get confused. I don't think our group perhaps is, but Many people have a fear of contentment, meaning they think that this is going to be stagnation, that there's not enough motivation if we feel content. We're not motivated. I think part of our group here in our age group may feel different about that than, say, a young adult or even a middle-aged person, in terms of this feeling of contentment's a beautiful thing versus a fear-based, I won't be motivated. And I just want to bring it into our practice, like in a body level of contentment, of appreciation. You know, we definitely get critical of our bodies and where they're at and where we want them to be. But also, can we appreciate our body of what it can do? And that would be linked to more gratitude. That would be similar. That's where they really combine there. But for example, you know, okay, I can appreciate and be content with my body, but I'm still doing yoga. We're still taking hikes. We're still doing things, whatever your physical practice is, to still keep it going. So, you know, that fear factor really doesn't really apply. You can feel it, of course, but it may not be a justifiable feeling, because we're still going to be doing things. And for example, like teaching, my profession, or therapy, I'm content, but I'm still learning and growing, always studying, finding out what things are, you know, new aspects in the field of therapy, psychotherapy, bringing in all kinds of things to keep the growth happening, even though there's contentment with I'm just looking at my profession. I'm inviting you to look at, some of you I know many of you are retired, and just who you are now. And that's another aspect of this, the stage of life you're in, and how that transition can be. And it's a lot to say about it. That's why I'm trying to keep it brief in the beginning, and then take it onto the mat, but give you the principle of contentment, and then taking it onto the mat. The inquiry, the yoga poses will be more some heart opening contentment and belly work, and also grounding and floor work. Because stabilizing is a factor of rooting and grounding, is being okay with whatever's happening. Maybe not in a moment, but over time we can stabilize and ground. And so that's a big factor of contentment, Santosha, and so many other aspects. But it's a wonderful quality, I'm sure we have experienced and would like to just return to again and again. And that awareness is key. Okay, so I've talked long enough about it, and we will go on to the mat and move into it. I'm appreciating that, but still working with the body. Okay, so sitting, you might be sitting comfortably. Our breath of joy. Just adjust. So just taking some deep belly breaths. Deep belly breaths. Into that. Low back. Hips. One, push your hands on the belly, and one, through your palms up. Let the shoulders sink down away from the ears. Starting with the breath of joy. Probably more in line with that gratitude feeling of joy, bringing the hands together in front of the heart. And then exhaling, tucking the chin, pressing the palms out in front of you, letting go of physical tensions, maybe emotional. inhale, lift the arms up and just be careful to draw those shoulders, bend the elbows to draw the shoulders slightly down so they're not over crunching. And then feel the space all around you. Take that time to just take a look around you. The eyes. Fingertips either put behind you or interlock, heart opening, eye gaze up. Through all the chakras. And then exhale. Tucking the chin, space between each vertebra. Take several breaths here. An eagle heart mudra, crossing at the thumbs, breathing belly to heart, full yogic breath, heart to belly on the exhale. Perhaps inquiring for yourself inwardly, what contentment, does it feel different to me? Does it vibrate differently to me than gratitude? I know there's similarities. Do I feel it anywhere, maybe differently, slightly differently or not in my life? Now, one more breath of joy. Hands together when you're ready. Exhale, pressing the palms out, round the spine. Inhale, scooping up. But then use those shoulders down by bending the elbows. This time, as we feel the space around us, reach out and add that twist before we do the back end. So we bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you, chin parallel, twisting out the tension. Inhale, not staying long, just in that broad brush stroke, opening the back body, awareness there, palms open, heart open, and twisting to the other side, left hand, right knee, right hand behind you, chin parallel, exhale. Couple breaths here. And inhale, open out. And then reaching back again, either fingertips touch or interlocking. And arms up. Lower lip above the upper lip if you want. And relaxing. Lower lip as we round again. Flexibility of the spine. Flexibility in our external life, and then underneath, coming back to the eagle heart mudra. Knowing that you'll be okay at some point wherever the circumstances of life brings. Breathing belly to heart, heart to belly. Tuning into the oceanic sound, letting that say rest versus restlessness. That's what I wanted to also highlight the difference of that deep internal rest or maintenance versus restlessness. And we all go through that restlessness most likely. And just notice back to what we can do about that internal return to us. Got knees in. We're going to come onto our back. And I just want the image of, that can be the image of contentment, except the true total image is that hammock, right? The hammock of just being, and but oh, I forgot to say what island we're going to, what place we're going to today. All right, say we're in Hawaii. And we're in that hammock, and we're just kind of at ease with our life, with the world around us, the birds, and all those things. We're going to create a hammock in our neck. Okay, we're going to have a bit of a neck focus today. And what we're going to do is, if you're not already on your back, just go back and back, up, back, shimmy, shake down. Maybe readjust and bring those knees in and appreciating, thank you, body, for all you can do. Showing up today. And the ability to breathe and move in the way you can at this stage in your life. So take your hands at the occipital ridge and placing the thumbs right there. And the hands could be not like hugging, but just around the back of the head. And we've done this with the arcing curl, but we're just adding more of a neck. And we're not doing a lot of strength with our the head moving. We're feeling our arms as we flatten the low back, tucking the chin, supporting the neck with a moment in the hammock. Okay. And then we inhale, sacrum draws into the earth, the chin lifts up a bit, releasing the neck, releasing the low back. And then exhale, strengthen the arms, cradling. So it does have to be more of a class with the hands. Cradle the head. Wide, feel that. Inhaling, easing the head down, heart open, sacrum drawing into the earth, go back out. We'll do this 2 more times. Exhale, flatten, press through the feet, and then lift. See if you can let the head rest. Back of the neck, occipital rest in the hands. And then inhale, coming back. Arcing, sacrum into the earth, wide heart. One more time. Exhale. Big exhale. Letting go. Letting go. It's a big part of contentment. Namakasana. Inhale. And arcing. And then letting the hands release. Wide feet. Hip width apart. Windshield wiper. Let the head go to the opposite side, and then if you'd like, taking your left hand and then opening this right side of the neck, sternocleidomastoid muscle here. Just breathing in. So you can see by just doing the hand movement, that's going to increase the opening of the neck. And all the benefit of the twist poses or that arcing curl that we already did by doing that pose, we're adding on to it. Engage the core. And of course, going to the other side. Head's turning away from the knees. The right hand is easing. Open sternocleidomastoid muscle on the left side of the neck. We know it attaches to the clavicle and the traps. That's a wonderful stretch here as we breathe in, out. Big exhales. Divine life is within me and all around me. Divine life is within me and all around me. Feel that. That's some amazing contentment going on there. Then that could be gratitude too, of course. Okay, that alignment is fine. Adjusting, rocking and rolling a few times if that's okay for you. Before we stand up, just another awareness of the neck. Sitting comfortably. So many of us have the head jutting forward, right? You want to draw the chin back, the head back. That's a I'm not going to get a straight line back there. We want a natural arc in the occipital, but we don't want this thing going on. Okay, it's sometimes called peck neck, and we're drawing the chin back. Another principle to remember when we do neck releases in yoga, I don't always remember this, is to place the hands down. Okay, so that helps the shoulders not crunch up. Okay, so when we place the hands down and we return the head gently to the right, and we're just looking up toward the ceiling and then down. Up with the slight pressure of the hands. You can feel that, right? Here. Same area of the neck we're working in the seated position. About 3 times, slight pressure with the hands. Opening that left side of the neck. Looking in front of you, moving back to center. And you guessed it. Left ear toward the left shoulder, pressing down to the arms. Stabilize the shoulders. Up. Down with this, we're not just looking, there's a slight rotation. So these micro movements are much better than the big circular movements to really get the strength of the neck as well as flexibility. When there's neck issues, there's something going on with either or both of that strength. Flexibility, balance, balance, and then coming up. And so those movements right there, you may feel it, draw the chin back, space, all around the neck actually. As we draw the knees in, we're going to come into that forward fold. Uttanasana, and do that same thing with our hands. So we hinge forward at the hips. And we let go. Thumbs a bit occipital. Just a gentle movement side to side. So we want this easy movement side to side. Relaxing and casting aside any unnecessary mental burdens. And then just a slight look in front of the toes, elongation, and then a slight rounding, folding the end. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, folding the end. Then you want to massage the scalp. Relax the brain. So it's a great feeling of self-massage. And letting go. So we'll come up, either rounding spine or straight spine, bending the knees, shaking it out, rounding spine today. With that fluidity, once we're upright, once the heels. Looking at the shoulders, joint spaces as well. So our standing mountain, if you want to swirl it, you're welcome to. Okay. All right, get into full body movement. Bringing our hands into Namaste. We'll do a variation of the sun with the pigeon series along the line here. And as we breathe in, we want to bring in others. In fact, let's take a moment here. Either Namaste hands or Eagle Heart Mudra, and think of someone you deeply love. And notice the radiance of the heart that happens there. Of course, our human love, we are attached to human love. Let's face it. This is part of the attachment. But yoga is inviting us, yes, of course. And can we expand that to how most of us feel attachment by our immediate family and core circle there, friends. We can expand that to a universal love so that we can then expand out to perhaps our neighborhood, our county, our nation, but let's just take it to our neighborhood. Expanding, opening to the point between the eyebrows, opening first appear to others, lengthening all the way up and then arcing back. But notice those shoulders, they want to ease down and not crunch up. And that's tricky because they do crunch up, but then let them come down. Expanding to what's called universal love. Quite the invitation. And then arms out to the side, hinging forward at the hips. We're coming back to Uttanasana, back to a forward fold. Shake your head gently if that works for your neck. Stepping it back to a full downward facing dog. Treading it out. Treading out. And letting the quality of contentment, invoking it, contentment radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. If you want to add a moment of plank and then that ripple effect, that flowing with life, that'll be okay. That's not the point. Maybe even during whatever the aversion is. Contentment radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And then draw the inner borders of the feet together, if possible, if it's in your practice. It's okay if it's not, to lift that right leg up. And bend the right knee, rotate the ankle. And go ahead and circle, half circles with that right knee out to the side, opening the hip. Opening, and we're going to bring our right knee to the chest. And then see if we can bring the right knee between the hands in our Ida Pada Raja Kapottanasana, our pigeon pose. This way, if you want your blanket underneath the cheek, feel free to do that. So we rise up, shimmy shake, opening the heart, making sure we're on top of that left knee, pull left toes. Again, hydrating with a gentle shake, gentle rocking. And then we take a moment or several moments in our pigeon pose as we rest in the eternal now, coming back again and again. You know this present moment awareness, making a palm with our hands, resting at the spiritual eye. And use the blanket if that right cheek is off the ground. Softening the shoulders. Okay. In this present moment, the body and the breath will bring us to the present moment. The mind may still be going, but we keep bringing it back to the breath, to this moment, honestly inquiring it. Am I okay right now? Is there a sense of contentment, okayness? Will I be okay no matter what the circumstances that are appearing in my life, perhaps? Is there a sense of okayness, contentment? And inhale, deep hip opener here. We're going to keep flowing with this. We're going to rise up, rising up. And then we're coming on to the right cheek and bending the left knee in front of the foot and trying to root down to both sit bones so you're not off to the side like this. And then we're lifting up that right knee and then we're holding on to this left foot And we're rocking horse back and forth. Rocking horse back and forth. Flowing along with what the body can do. Okay, and then we root down again. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to bring this left knee up and around, either in front of the shin or on the outside of that thigh. Get stabilized down. Hug the knee in. Right corner of the abdomen toward the left. Deeper twist this time. We're hugging the knee perhaps, or even the elbow on the outside of the knee. Deep twist as we look over the shoulder. But then on the inhale, we ease back. Ease back, and then we twist again. Ease back, and twist again. And then coming all the way forward, and see if this is possible for you. It may or may not be, to bring one knee on top of the other, so that double pigeon hip release. I know we've got the other side. If this is not possible, we do a variation like this. We're going to go into asana arms as well as hip opener. Okay. So the left knee is on top. So the left arm comes behind you. You use a strap here. Help your arm, the opposite arm reaching up to the sky and interlock, or use the strap if the interlock is happening. And with what our body's doing or not. This is more complicated. This requires shoulder hip opening, both simultaneously. Tip of the elbow up. Toward the sky, the right elbow to the left elbow down. You can stay here, which is plenty, or if your body allows, coming forward. Deep belly breathing, deep shoulder opening, keep allowing the body in what it is able to do. Noticing what the difference is for you between gratitude and contentment. And up. And then unraveling. So those belly dance arms as we unravel. Opening the elbows, the shoulder joints, the wrists. Low. Rest. Returning to that deep rest. Rest, deep contentment. Knowing you're okay. Especially, you know, I think of that when I think of the sorrows of life, and the challenges of life, the tough stuff, right? How the cadence of contentment there. And maybe gratitude, but for a lot of us, may not feel gratitude with the tough stuff. I mean, over time we can, for sure, but there's a real difference. I think of vibrational quality there of gratitude for the tough stuff. That could happen later, for sure, but perhaps right away. Same with contentment, but there's a different, I don't know, to me there comes a different quality when I think of the challenges, the sorrows, the tough stuff. Maybe it's the same. We'll talk about it. All right, unravel, and we'll go to the other side. First, for a moment in boat. Tap one foot down, exhale, and then the other, and then the other. Okay, we're going to ripple onto the balls of the feet in our transition, roll through. Walking your hands forward. Opening the chakras, opening the heart, opening the neck, that's okay. Goes back, otherwise chin slightly tucks. And then all tucking the chin for the transition into a moment of our forward fold or several moments. If you want to cradle, Namakasana, side to side. And then gentle forward back. And appreciation, thank you, body, what you can do, gratitude. Stepping back into our downward facing dog, spreading it out, pressing to the 4 points of the hands, each hand, Santosha. And so many things in the yogi philosophy of contentment is as things as they are. Again, that quote, not as they wish they could, we think they should be. Being content with things as they are. Okay, coming into our plank. Now we're going to add a little more strength here. We're going to add a half push-up. Pulse up, and then bend the knees, ripple back. Do this 2 more times. Plank. And now push up. There's another confusion around contentment. Of course, you can activate new things to motivate. If we, feel that need to make, we were not liking things as they are, but we want for you to affect change. Come back to that awareness of it all. And one more time. Tap chaturanga. Inner borders of the feet together. If possible, left leg lifts up. If not, stay with your 3-legged dog. Rotating the ankle. Bending the knee. And circling that knee around, opening the hip. And then we knee to the chest. We come into our Ekapada Rajapapottanasana, our pigeon pose. I'm going to turn this direction. We're lining it up as fast as we can. And you'll toward this right hip bone, turning the back toes under, come down to the top of the knee. Should be shaking. So that tricky line of contentment and motivation and active change and doing what we can and then letting go and all these principles of what's our baseline, kind of returning to our baseline of wholeness and awareness of all the changes. And when we're ready, rippling down. Stacking one hand on top of the other, resting at the spiritual eye. The two become one. Soften the shoulders. Deep belly breathing. Knowing that you are that wave, rising up, returning, can't be separate from the ocean. Resting in the eternal now, present moment awareness for presence. And then rise up. person, your presence. It's the deepest truth. Rock side to side again. And we come onto that left cheek, and then the right knee. We root down through both sit bones, and then we add our rocking horse. Drawing in and drawing up. And up. The play here, and so good for our joints. It's more grounded floor work. Okay, as we bring our right knee either in front of the left shin or on the outside of the thigh. Down through the sit bones, squeeze it, soak in our twist. We're gonna either hug the knee or bring that elbow on the outside. Left corner of the abdomen to the right. Okay, over your shoulder. And then when it's time for you to inhale, we knees back. And then we twist again. And then we come back. And we get ourselves set up, either knee on top of knee for the double hip opener, or if that's not available, cross step ankles. And it work for you. And bringing the left hand behind, using your right hand to help that elbow, that forearm come into the central channel of the spine as much as possible. And then bring the arm up, enter like a baby or using the strap. Lifting the elbow to the sky and the opposite to the earth. Maybe staying here, just going to a gentle pause for our shoulders and our hips. And we come forward perhaps. Breathe by breath. Again. Santosha, contentment. What's the difference for you, if there is one, versus gratitude? And coming up. So it's that hammock feeling of contentment. I know that's not like, that's certainly not my experience in daily life. I unfortunately don't have a hammock here, but the feeling of being okay, and then we come back to that wholeness. That's through, especially, it really, to me, it kind of comes down to the challenges in life of being okay. Back to our center. All right, unraveling the legs. Again, our core strengthener with our bow pose. Now this one, we're going to have the calves parallel, and then extend, and then come back to parallel. The calves and then extend. So it's hovering a little bit more. If that's too much, you can tap down and switch like we did last time. So put them out, parallel, extend, and lengthen up. Okay, shoulders down. Now rolling again, transitioning, and to our Uttanasana, our forward fold. And side to side. And let's come up with a straight spine. Bending the knees, chair pose, Uttanasana, sweeping up. Pulsing here. Feel the ground, roots, stability. Stabilizing. As we exhale, and integrating whatever your spiritual practice is into your daily life. Right? So stabilize and integrate. And that's the stability is a root chakra experience. Let's go into a standing flow. So we are going to do Garandasana, a balance pose, eagle pose. We know this one. Opening up our wings of joy. Gratitude, it does feel like a heart quality to be almost like you're opening the present gift versus the hammock of contentment. And that's my visualization, may not be yours. The right elbow underneath the left, or like this. Sometimes if you're visually, you just think, oh, what do I visualize gratitude? Like, what do I visualize contentment? We're rooting down. Go here. Okay, we're shifting our weight onto the left foot. Looking at a point in front of you. Oh yeah, you can use a block. I forgot to say, remember? I will do that next time. Wrapping that knee, maybe crossing or a full wrap. Amidst life's storms, I come back to my center. It's like challenges. I can be in my center. I can be in okayness. The awareness of it all, not the resistance. It's natural to have resistance and challenge, of course. Unravel, but we can get better at the acceptance of it. Lifting that knee up and giant step it back. Okay, so this right foot is turning out to the side 30 degrees. We're tracking the left knee over the second toe. Left hip back, right hip forward, tailbone down. So we're going to do that hammock asana with our arms in our Virabhadrasana 1 and our warrior 1. So what does that mean? Oh, what it means is we're opening up, we're cradling the back of the neck, we're helping the back of the neck, we're opening the heart. I attune my will, the source of all power, and then I'm gently coming forward. That's what we're doing. Drawing the elbows in, tips in, do this several times. Cradling. Attune my will to the source of all power. So cradle in. Expand open. And so that feels in your neck to have the support. Turn like that. One more time. Cradle in. And finishing up, it's I know it's strong on the legs. It's meant to deep interlock. And from here, we reach the arms down. Transition into our lunge, lifting the heart, lifting the head, bringing in universal expansion versus personal, and universal love as we step back, down dog, treading it out. Contentment radiates every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. We're learning our highest truth as we come into plank. Chaturanga, all the way down. Haven't done an up dog yet. Bhujangasana. We did it after pigeon pose, but now double leg lift the heart, maybe lift the knees. Lion's breath. And taking rest in prayer pose. Taking that in, knees wider than the hips. Bow into the wisdom of the heart. Present moment awareness for presence. Okay, round cat. Round cat. Remember how we did this? We did a scoop last week, but then we added the shoulders, bending the elbows out to the side. Get some hydration under scapula. Transitioning back to down dog, full body stretch. Any way you like. And then stepping one foot forward, then the other. One hand toward the foot, then the other. This time we're resting. Our palms of our hands up at the hollows of the elbows. A little more of a upper body shift side to side. Release. Releasing the hands. Letting go is a big part of contentment. Letting go. And sweeping up. Pulsing. Coming up. The space all around you, as well as the space within you. Back to mountain. Okay, Garandasana to the other side. I'm going to adjust the heat here in a moment. So I'll be right back. And go ahead and Garandasana. Inhale. Left elbow underneath the right. See how you feel there, or like this. Yeah. And go ahead and shift. Right foot. Wrap around. On the opposite side. And our Garandasana. Oh yeah, I forgot again. How about that? To bring our block if you want it. If you want it coming around to tap onto. It's nice. And it's like storms. I find my center. It's like storms. I can come back to my center. I can be in my center perhaps. During the challenges, during difficulties. A lot to ask. We come back. We're all works in progress as we unravel arms and the legs, and move the body out to the side. Step back. Up, toes pointing out to the side. Right knee tracking over that second toe. Right hip back, left hip forward. Virabhadrasana 1 with the cradling of the arms at the back of the head. Last standing pose of this morning. Inhale, open all the chakras, especially the heart and the shoulders. Exhale, ground gently. Still stabilizing as I tune my will to the source of all power. Notice the side versus the other. It's a very different quality. Right versus left, I tune my will to the source of all power. Stretching the neck, containing the neck, supporting the neck. And then inhaling, coming forward into our lunge. Rotating off the back heel, lifting the belly, heart, head. And then exhaling, giving enough space to flow through. To step back into plank. Chaturanga, or knee chest chin chaturanga. Inhale, rising up. Lion's breath. And ease. Now, when we ease this time, we're rounding back
but it's more of a transition to come onto our back. So we step forward, step, 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 and then we come down, have your block by your side, and you're going to come down, low back, mid back, upper back, onto our back and hug those knees in. So our rest is on our back versus prayer pose. Ironing out, letting the neck release as well as the spine. Happy baby. Right corner of the abdomen, then the left, moving side to side. Notice if we are content with what our bodies can do. And just noticing if there's aversion or, not to say there might be motivation to do certain things that's healthy. This is part of the study of psychology, study of motivation. In the mind. And we're going to finish with bridge pose, walking bridge pose. So if you have your block, first we'll come up into regular bridge and then we'll do some bridge walking. Okay, so feet hip width apart, large toes turned in, plug in the spine, lift the hips to the sky. And let's first just kind of lock one shoulder, then the other underneath you, interlock. Draw those knuckles toward the heels. Every thought can be a bridge back to your true self. So we notice ourselves going out there. That awareness will say ding, ding, ding. Come back to the breath. To my true nature. Already whole, already free, already aware. Lift the heels. Place the block either high or medium. I'm going to go high today. That's what my body's saying. Sacrum resting on the block, but we're still plugging into the feet. Left toes turn out to the side. Right knee comes in once your block is stable. Extend the ball of the foot to the sky. And then bridge walk. Knee to knee. Hover for a moment there, great strengthening, and then fold and bend that right knee, right toes out to the side, plug in that foot, left knee bends, bridge walking, left foot extends, exhale, and plugging in. Do a couple more of these. Again, notice the image that may come up for you if you're visually oriented. What contentment might look like, and as an image, I offer the hammock. Notice what comes up for you as you switch, at your pace and timing. And the gratitude similar, but slightly different qualities. I just feel like a bow in the heart, maybe not such a present, but a bow. And then we're going to lift the heels, take your time to ripple down, ripple, ripple, ripple. Feel that folding into the central channel of the spine. Or not duality, but a gift. Not be swung so far on the yin and yang. And then resting in our Supta Baddha Konasana. In the central channel, one hand on the belly, the other hand on the heart, head in line with the spine. Shoulders away from the ears. And just breathe and be. And from this more interior place, more of a internal rest versus restlessness, decide what Shavasana pose works for you. You know the variations. We could do, like, you know, you could start it like you are, you could shift certainly. I'm going to slowly transition and get a cocoon or nesting, get your blanket, get your eye bag. Get as cozy as possible to just allow the openings to stabilize. We've expanded and we return, we expand and return. It's such a beautiful practice. We continue, right? We could continue to learn. I know you wouldn't be in this class if you weren't continuing to grow and learn from our yoga practice, even with poses we do all the time. The present moment with the poses we return to. And the continual learning of the philosophy, where we are in our life with the stage of our life. As things like a book, we can read a book a year ago, we read it now, we absorb different things because we're in a slightly different place of understanding. Okay. So getting cozy, getting cocooned. I'll start by just inviting you to ease the, depending on your position, the head from side to side. Again, the awareness of the neck release. So important, which is very much connected to our low back. Observing the breath. Notice the experience of the inhalation. And the sensation of the exhalation. Inviting the eyes to deeply soften. And perhaps a gentle, slight upward, inward focus of the spiritual eye. And a quote from Yogananda: the purpose of this life is to find yourself, to know yourself, and to feel the ocean of divine presence in your heart. To know yourself and to find yourself and to feel the ocean of divine presence in your heart. See if that resonates with you as you invite the jaw to relax. The sensations, and tuning into sensations inside the mouth, the tongue, teeth, the gums. Oceanic sound at the back, most audible in the throat. But
vibrating through all the cells in the body. The awareness that's aware of the changing thoughts, feelings, and circumstances. The awareness is unchanging, and everything else is changing. It's the nature of thoughts and feelings, experiences, this change. We're tuning into what is changeless, which is awareness. Again and again, already here, already whole, already complete. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. Sensation radiating down the arms, left and right. Pulsation in the palms of the hands and fingers and thumbs, left and right. Dropping deeply into the heart, into the floor, the ceiling, the sidewalls of the chest. Notice how we really can't hold on to the breath. The breath rises and falls. It's the nature of experiences to come and go. Noticing thoughts even now as they come and go. And the deep, deep, deep inquiry is the big question. Don't try to rationally answer it. It's from the heart space, asking yourself, who am I? Am I the changing body? Am I the changing mind? Am I the changing experiences, circumstances in my personal life, in the world? And you can think of yoga as deconstruction of this sense of only our form. We're in our form, of course. It's important to take care of it. But we're deeper than that. And you can do that practice as we inhale the word I, and as we exhale the word M, A-M. You then erase your name and just stay with the I and the M. Feeling yourself breathe in the belly, low back. No sensations in the form, in the legs, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles, the toes, the soles of the feet, tops of the feet. And what's animating this form? Feeling the space inside the body and connecting it to that universal space all around you, above you, below you, left and right sides, and how vastly spacious awareness back to that personal love, someone you love, when you think of someone you dearly love, and expand that love to your neighbors, your family, your state, the world, this universal love, the cosmos, and the galaxies, and that becomes impersonal from the personal. And resting in that ocean of divine presence, we'll feel it most likely in our hearts. And you're welcome to rest longer in Shavasana, or you're welcome to return to movement gradually at your own pace and timing. Resting. If you're transitioning on your side, taking your time to come up, or just staying where you are. As we symbolically, through sound and intention, send this healing energy, this divine life force that we may be feeling to others. And you could go as expansive or contained as you like on this. Bringing the hands together, either to the heart or rubbing them together. Any way you'd like to do the 3-syllable Om practice, sending prayers of care to others, healing energy to others and the world. Inhaling from the heart, belly, and crown. And bringing the hands together in Namaste. Acknowledging that divine consciousness within you, recognizing that within everyone and everything. In that consciousness, we are one as we bow to the wisdom of our heart, letting it lead the way. And I will end the recording here. And those of you who want to